So, okay, I got something really weird for you. That's one of the weirdest things I have ever seen. Not ever, but in quite a while. I don't really have time to dive too deep into this. That's why I just want to leave this here mostly with other people's resources. This is built from Mr. Eko. I found that on YouTube, basically on Ninja, and then figured out his YouTube. I use information about that, and I won't really have time to go deep into this because I'm busy doing the cat build, basically. Spoiler, I'm gonna play the cat thing. It's gonna work. It's gonna be okay. But this is something very different. This is a Saboteur with Shot of Penetration, and it's a miner and trapper at the same time, and it's such a weird mechanic. And it looks so cool, I find. I do have Nemesis right now to simulate the 50% node, roughly, to get an idea of the look and feel of this entire thing. But yeah, basically what you do is you run around and you throw mines and they throw traps, and then stuff behind you dies because there's a little bit of a delay, actually quite a bit of a delay until that's happening. But look at this, it looks so cool. I really like this and I like the idea. A single target, obviously, especially on this like test character, is not that great. You have to decide for yourself if you're trusted to do enough single target. To be fair, not on this specific build, but on a different one that is almost the same. I'm going to show you but you can actually use as a starter. This is not a direct starter, but almost. You can play almost the same and then swap to it a little bit later. Like in this case, we want to put down some buffs, I guess, and then, yeah, with some delay, throw some mines that throw traps, and then as said, the single target here is not that great, honestly. And you also have to be careful not to overthrow your traps, like the mines, because then they're gonna destroy your traps. It's kind of weird. So yeah, on this test thing, it's not that great, honestly. So yeah, that's the bow basically, which is not that bad. So you need to figure out yourself if you want this kind of damage or not. But what is it, and why is it so weird? Look at what's happening. I'm throwing mines, and they throw traps at me, and that's triggering the Shot of Penetration. That is so odd. So what we're doing is we have Shot of Penetration here with locust mines, and these mines throw trap-supported Shot of Penetration. So you throw the mines, the locust mines, so they have to throw them somewhere away from you, so they actually trigger. And as soon as you do that, it throws trap at you, which means you're kind of a melee, and the other two are just increased crit and elemental damage with attacks. Trap and mine damage support. Mr. Eko doesn't have this one, I believe. He has the returning projectiles in there, which we don't need because we get 50% of that from our ascendancy anyway. So the idea is basically what you're scaling, what you're trying to overcome is this limit of only having one projectile here, basically. And you want to scale these cones, and you do this cone stuff by forking. And forking, you take additional projectiles with Fury Wolf. So your Fury Wolf is required to actually play this. And you overcome this projectile limit kind of situation by having mines and traps. So there's a lot of casts of this of the ice shot. So they still only have one actual arrow projectile, but then with the forking here from Fury Wolf, you create a ton of these like cones, and the cones return, or like in our case, then only 50%. So that's kind of what's happening, which is really weird. On top of that, we are triggering Rain of Arrows with Mana Forged Arrow support. This works from throwing this stuff here. And that one in turn, it just has a lot of projectiles basically. That one crits, and if it crits, then we get some tornadoes and we get our Sniper's Mark Curse thing. As said, this is required. Other than that, this is roughly the tree. Yeah, I don't know. You see it in his POBs. Keep in mind this is kind of important. So it's somewhat a crit-based situation here. Yeah, so you can't really start this right away. I mean, to some extent you probably could, but yeah, I don't know. Point is, what you can do, you cannot have your ascendancy, right? So you can start with having these 3 ascendancy instead of the returning one, so which is really cool. So you get Born in the Shadows, and you get this one as a starting point, which is really, really nice. And what you're gonna play is pretty much exactly the same build. You're just gonna have Explosive Arrow, in the setup here. This can also be a 4-link. Yeah, you can leave out the crit damage and trap and mine support. So you can start this as a 4-link. Mr. Eko has like leveling part video thing from Settlers where he goes over how he did that. So that was definitely on a 4-link. Other than that, you would, if you don't have the Transfigured gem here yet, you would just use Blast Rain instead. Right, so you don't need any Transfigured gems right away, which is really nice for leaguestart, I feel like, not needing Transfigured stuff. So you can swap out that one, and in this case you would have Assassin's Mark instead of Sniper's Mark, and then you're basically the same build, just with Explosive Arrow, right? So you do exactly the same thing, and now there's nothing triggering our traps, but they're gonna explode at some point, and then it shoots out explosive arrows. With that, you probably want Point Blank. And he has a bunch of content. Like Mr. Eko has a ton of content around this EA trap miner thing. He has a lot of that stuff. Also, you don't need a Fury Valve, obviously. In this case, let's just use something else here. This should probably work. Yeah. So now my aura's turned off.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Yes, so that's also the auras it has, so like a nicely defensive one. But this would be like your starting thing, right? You can play this starting from 28, basically, just on a 4-link and then build up to it, get a better and better bow. He has a bunch of content about how to deal with the bows, because you actually want plus level bows and things like that. And the interesting part is apparently he did in the last Gauntlet, it's going to be bad with the minus res, in the last Gauntlet he did even do Gauntlet Ubers on this exact build, not on the ice one. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, probably it's viable, I guess, but you have to figure that out for yourself. So this is basically plays the same, right? I said this one doesn't really have single target on 40-16 yet, but other than that, yeah, you still melee. Like, this is such a weird build. Like, look at this. What is this? You do traps. And then like you do mines, and then the mines throw traps at you. It's just the weirdest thing ever, to be fair. But yeah, I just wanted to leave this here. I'm gonna leave you with the links to Mr. Eko's channel. You can have a look at this. I won't have time until Friday to actually figure this out. I'm busy working on the cat build. But I really wanted to share this because it's so odd. And honestly, looking at his POBs and yeah, having this set of Sabo defenses, this should feel pretty good. This should feel very good and should be very much SSF-able. Like, you should absolutely be able to play this in SSF. Like, you just need Transfigured gems, and you need a Fury Valve, which is like is it a tier 3 unique? 4 or 3, something like that. So you can absolutely farm a Fury Valve. That's not crazy, but you need something before. So the idea would be play Explosive Arrow on a setup like this, roughly get Fury Valve, and then swap to Shot of Penetration, which is probably more a clear thing. Maybe you can even go into spaces like, say, okay, maybe for like bigger bossing, you swap back if it's actually stronger, which it probably is, to the Explosive Arrow, and then use this for clear, for example, something like this. But I imagine this to be pretty fun, pretty interesting, by far, definitely a meme build, right? Don't get me wrong, but I totally see this really funny. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, bye.